YouTube might ban it, but you know, those commie motherfuckers.
You won't see nothing. You'll probably just hear bang bang.
And if it was me shooting, you'd be like, motherfucker, missed again. All right.
After all them years, you don't miss, do you?
All the time. That was me trying to shoot at one bird. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Goose Creek Retrievers. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
That is me, and I got wires underneath my chair. That's how you start fires, Jeff.
And with us today,
don't you fuck up this introduction, Jeff Stanfield.
from the blind in western Minnesota, my friend.
The GOAT himself.
I say he's the greatest goose hunter I've ever known and been around. And
I would second that.
And I've been around a lot of them. A lot of guys that had an ego. This guy don't have an ego. From Minnesota, Mr. Dave Reese. Dave, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
From the blind. How could you be doing bad?
I couldn't be doing bad. I'm sitting in the duck blind. It's overcast, 60 degrees, 30 mile an hour east wind.
Where are you located in this duck blind in western Minnesota?
Well, I'm sitting right in the middle of it.
Okay,
Jeff.
where's the blind? Where is the blind at located?
This place is called Banker's Point, and it's I suppose I'm probably 10 miles southeast or southwest of Fergus Falls.
How
on a lake called Lightning.
how's the hunting been?
You know, it's been all right. The cans and the redheads and some of the divers just showed up yesterday in that north wind, and we shot a few of them yesterday. The wind's been kind of keeping them down a little bit today for some reason. We've shot a few, but we're just kind of waiting the bigger divers out. They fly a little later in the day. Kind of waiting for them birds to come back around here. Kind of like shooting them canvasbacks and redheads, and I think we shot a couple mallards, seen a pintail. We shot at a bunch of teal.
So, do you manage a hunt club, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh God, since '94. Oh no. Actually, since '98, probably.
So you started doing that the same time you were working for us?
Yeah. Well, I ran a different hunting club when I started working with you. They called St. Paul Pass.
That's right. Yeah.
And then I worked for him for almost about the same time I worked for you. And then I ran into Larry, and Larry made my life a lot easier, and had to deal with one family instead of 12 different members, that I didn't, that always didn't get along. No, I almost 30 years, I guess I've been doing this, so I hadn't been too bad. Hadn't been too bad for me.
I found a card from St. Paul Pass Hunting Club sometime last summer.
Oh my God. From me?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it again. It's in this one of my drawers with all my shit in it from just pretty cool old shit that you don't think about at the time that you still have that I've collected over the years. Oh, we got some ducks working.
We got birds working.
Maybe.
What?
I think it was actually a pair of golden eyes.
What's the limit on them?
You can shoot 6 of them.
Wow.
Ooh, that ain't golden eyes.
What a time of year. Ollie's calling. I hope they shoot. We might have fucked it up.
Sit here long enough. I will.
So, Are there clients by you?
They're probably 30, 40 yards away. I'm in a separate blind by myself now. I was sitting with them earlier, and I said, well, I'll come down and sit in my own blind. That way I don't bother anybody. I'm probably where I should be. I'm right in the kill hole of all the divers. So.
And you got them 30 yards away from you.
Oh, well, the ones is about 60 yards. This is like a 1,500-foot point.
Oh, wow.
And I got steel blinds buried in the rocks up and down it. And I'm on the inside one, and I'm probably 3/4 of the way across the lake.
I gotta say, your lanyard has filled up quite a bit since your days out here in West Texas. Or did you just not show the bling as much when you were down here?
I sold all the bling down there.
That is true. Yeah, you made a lot of money off the other guides doing that stuff.
Johnny paid big money for a lot. I made him skin hogs and coyotes, and
what?
I probably didn't really start collecting until the last 15 years.
Right.
You know, I always looked at a band as it was dumb enough to get caught once, and then it was dumb enough to come in and die in my decoys the second time. So
a lot of truth to be said about that. A lot of truth.
You know, bands are, they're cool. They all, clients love to see them. They like to see the jewelry. They like to know that the experience is there. But most of my bands on my lanyard, I could probably tell you who I was hunting with and different stories that go along with them.
Right.
Them are kind of just remembers. Each one's kind of a memory.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And the longer that you do this, you kind of the quality really doesn't matter as much. I mean, the quantity, I should say. The quantity doesn't really matter as much. It doesn't, but the quality is kind of what you look for. And you put these little pieces on your lanyard, and each one tells a different story about what you were doing that day. Like you said, who you were with, and it's just you look down at one and it's just a reminder.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
They all got a different story to them, if you can remember them all or not. I don't know. There's probably over 50 or so on that one. So,
hey,
there's bands under bands on that one.
Dave, I'm going to talk about some old time stuff here. Do you remember the biggest prank we ever pulled on a guide while you worked here? Do you remember? Do you remember Dave,
sure.
Dave and the stripper?
Yeah. Ash. What was her name? Yeah. No, I do remember that. Didn't you send me flowers?
Yes. I'm going to tell everybody this story. We had another guy that worked for us that was in love with this stripper, and he was talking about her one time, and Dave says, "Hey, I know her," and he's like, "Oh, you do?" And he said, "Oh, yeah." So we staged a phone call first and had her play like she called the office for him, and Dave got up from dinner to go talk to her, and he was really concerned. This other guy was. He was like, real.
Dave.
Well, I wasn't going to use his name, but you just did. The other Dave was really concerned about this and stuff, and so he started questioning Dave about it, and Dave's like, a true gentleman never speaks and tells, and that really started eating at his ass. And then about 3 or 4 days later, we're all sitting at dinner, and the lady delivers flowers out here from this girl to this Dave, and boy, it really ate his ass up. And it was fucking great. We got a good 2 or 3 weeks of all that shit, big time.
Yeah, and we never did tell him the truth.
No. Matter of fact, you had her send some panties in the mail.
That showed up at our lodge or wherever.
Yeah. He got an envelope with like a Valentine card deal with some panties in it, and that really ate at his ass. So about time it'd go away, something else would happen. But when the flowers came, he was like, "Oh," he thought his significant other had sent him some flowers, and then he saw the card.
Yeah, that's right. He thought they were for him, and they were for me.
He was.
Oh yeah. I was dating a gal in 10 Mile, and I don't know. I had 20 guys show up for dinner there, and I did the same thing to him. He was kind of being a whiner and doing shit. And I said, "Well, that's fine. You're going to pay for your own meal." And I bought everybody else's meal but his. And And then the gal I was dating, she brought dessert for us all at the steakhouse because she was one of the waitresses, and so she brought dessert to everybody but him.
What?
He was whining. Oh my God, he whined and he cried. And
what was he whining about?
He whined about everything, anyways.
he had to pay for his supper, and he didn't get no dessert when everybody. There was another 19 of us that did.
Right.
You know,
he whined anyways a lot. So, you are now running or taking. You own Randy Bartz's flag company, correct?
Yeah, me and Steve. We pretty much inherited Randy's flagging business. He wanted us to have it on and keep going on. So we made a few minor changes, but nothing major. And we're just trying to get our heads wrapped around all of this too. Yeah, you know, he just passed away a month ago, so we're kind of just going through inventory and getting stuff started and trying to figure out what we really need and what we don't need. Because Randy was an inventor. He probably wasn't. He wasn't the best. I'd dig into a box, I'd find 10 different types of one thing. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't sell 10 different types of one thing. You got to have a consistency of the same thing that you're selling. So we've been going through a lot of that stuff, but no, it's looks like it'll be a fun venture. My brother's excited about it. I'm excited about it. We've done some changes. I guess we've been doing it as long as Randy probably has, because we kind of all started at the same time doing it. And the couple of the things that wore out on Randy, I've changed. And then we kind of put rubber tips in, and instead of them wooden dowels on the ends. Right. So, they always split and they'd break, and we changed that, and everything seems to be going really well, just even by that one thing. Can you believe I used the flag for 5 years and didn't break it?
Really? This one?
I mean, that rubber tip, that first one I've done it for 5 years and have yet to break it.
That is shocking.
And it took all that problems of rods breaking and tips breaking by one little item, and rods don't slide out. They hold tight. I'll send you one.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at it, because that was always the thing. It was a wooden dowel basically with holes drilled in it, and then the fiberglass would go through there where it would wear out.
Yeah. Yep.
I have a bag that Randy gave me, a zip-up case that says Flagman Pro Staff and has Jeff Stanfield and has Randy Bartz's signature on it.
Gray and black?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I brought a bunch of them down there at one time. We were trying to get everybody outfitted, I think, when I come down usually.
The first time I met Randy and Mike Ducart, and Mike's in the deer hunting business now, and he had Illusion Goose Calls in. Randy and Mike came down with the guys that were testing the final approach blinds. This would have been like in 1995, 96, I think 1995 maybe. They were doing it. We hunted in the wheat with it, and if we'd had the right colors, it would have worked a lot better. But that's the first time I met Randy, and I thought, God, this old fucker's got a lot of shit, because he had all kinds of contraptions and stuff. You
have no idea.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
Oh my God, you have no idea. 40 years of that mind twisting and turning. It was scary.
There's two people that I've met like Ron in 30 years. Like Randy in the hunting business, is Ron Winnicky and Randy Bartz. Because Ron Winnicky was also a tinkerer stuff. Randy just carried it out further than Ron did. But they both had more shit than anybody I've ever been around in my entire life. And
Randy at his pit, and he'd leave everything he brought in the bottom of his pit.
So how long had you known that you and your brother were going to be the ones that were going to take this over?
just like this last
Oh
fall.
shit!
Randy sat down with us and kind of said, "Hey, my kids want nothing to do with it, and you and David have been here the whole time, and I'd like you guys to kind of continue on with what I'm doing, and so we're giving it a go. We're not changing it a lot. We're just calling it, instead of, it used to have that Flagman thing, we had to change it to Flagman Legacy Products. Mm-hmm. It kind of fits in that way, and we're doing the best of what we thought he had, and kind of just sticking with that until we get a handle on stuff. Most of it, we're sending it to a lot of the guys that I'm shipping stuff out now to is outfitters up in Canada. Mm-hmm. The more goose hunting gets on, the more, I guess, we think about it and need that stuff.
Yeah. Now, did he say, like, hey, listen, I've got this over here? Did he kind of give you a tour of what all he had, or once he passed,
no, he had no idea. No, we had no freaking idea what we even had, or what, if he had any inventory. I mean, I probably won't have to buy fabric for a couple years. Oh,
here we go. We got some action here. We'll stay quiet.
I don't think we're going to affect this much.
Well, Jeff, I don't want to be the reason that they flare.
Keep your head down. Keep your head down. Keep your head down.
You flared them, Jeff.
I told you. I told you.
Jeff, you flared them. Maybe not. They're cans. They might come around again.
He's way too loud. I feel like we're calling a golf tournament.
Them things will come in. If they're going to come, they'll come.
I feel like we're...
Oh, some birds coming in, though.
Hey, I'm looking at my schedule, and I'm trying to make a trip that first week in November, because we're going to be dead that week. So during the week, if you got some field mallards, Dave, I'm going to come up and democrat a spot with you and come shoot some field ducks.
Well, the only day I have to worry about is the day after election. I got a group of like 16 up here.
What's the day after the election?
One of the days that I could come up there.
But that's the only day.
Let's see, there you can go the day after that.
I may come up drive up that Wednesday and hunt Thursday, Friday, and come back. And I may go hunt with some guys on the Mississippi River that Saturday, Sunday.
You're just democrating everywhere.
You know what, Andy?
Whew.
Yes. I call that using the Mikey Soberano approach.
Do what, Dave?
It says it's all them people from California moving to Texas.
Yeah, they've affected me.
He's he has no qualms calling in a favor anymore. So what's the migration looking like? Is it full go up there, or is it slow?
Yeah, not too bad.
That's not a clear answer. That's an either way answer. So which way is it?
No, I'm sitting here. I'm watching a pair of geese fly across here. I'm thinking I should call at them, but it'd be really loud here in the box, so I'll just let them land out there.
Is that not where you normally do goose hunts at?
Oh, I do goose hunts here
it's
too, but mainly this is probably one of my main. I mean, if there's 15 species, I'll shoot sometimes up to 15 species of birds off this point. Where a lot of places you shoot mallards, or you shoot puddle ducks, or you go just shoot divers. I shoot about everything here. I've even shot sea ducks here.
Now, has that spot always been good, or is that something just over the years?
Yeah. This place has been, the abstract goes all the way back to 1890.
Wow.
On the leasing rights at this point. So, yeah, it's been around a while.
It's a spot.
Do you hunt with Steve much anymore?
He comes up and visits me 2-3 times a year. He'll come up for 4 or 5 days and hunt with me. He did in September. And we ran, I don't know, we had a pretty good hunt.
There he goes again.
These are coming.
Okay.
There's a pair of geese. So.
Jeff and I are going to turn our microphones down so we don't affect you.
losing him.
He's not flagging at all. You got to flag, Dave. Flag. Turn him. He lost him.
He's a killing machine, I'm telling you.
Well, I'm going to feel awfully awkward if he doesn't kill anything on this podcast. Here we are saying that he's the best killer we've ever had.
Do you want to go up to Minnesota with me and go hunt with him for a couple of days?
I don't know. We'll see what's going on here.
We ain't got nothing that week.
Jeff, I've got other obligations. Do you know I got to be in Ira, an 8 o'clock game?
Oof.
They're gone, Dave. He didn't flag enough. He didn't flag enough.
Wind's blowing 30 miles an hour and he's hunting on water.
He's carrying a lot more bands. What calls does he have? I can't tell.
I'm going to bet they're moat gears.
No, those aren't. I don't know what those are. Maybe Ganderlanders? He lost them.
They could landed at the end of the point. If the guy ain't shooting, they might have landed far.
What kind of calls you blowing, Dave?
These are CS. Mike
okay,
Snelzer's call.
Oh, Mike, great guy. I've got a custom.
Oh, awesome.
I've got a custom call of his that's in my office. It's in my trophy case that I will never, ever, ever take out of that case. It means more to me because of his story than anybody I know.
That's one thing I get about it. He is just a true good person, and that's pretty much all I got anymore. I blow all of his stuff. I mean, I've had a lot of calls, so. But I really like Mike's. They're really smooth. They're really goosey. Everybody makes a good call. But
that is what's amazing. Is like the quality of calls that are out right now. Like nobody has a crappy call out there anymore.
No, they're all pretty decent. When we started with Jeff, nobody made a lesser call, and then me and Johnny started doing that lesser thing, and now there's all kinds of people that make a lesser call now.
When we went to Dive Bomb to Squad Fest this past summer, Mike wasn't there, and that was the one person I wanted to meet. That's the one person I wanted to meet, and I went up to his booth, and he wasn't there. Just I wanted to shake his hand. He's an incredible story and a cool dude. He's been on the podcast with us. Raising those boys, what a great man.
He's supposed to come up and hunt with me, so this year. So I told him and his boys they needed to come up. It was only 3 hours away. So I think I probably see him this year.
Maybe he'll come up that Thursday and Friday after the election when I come up.
You never know.
About once a year, he'll make a post on Facebook that'll just rip your heart out. Losing his wife and raising those kids. Tough guy.
Yeah, to endure all through that and still have a positive attitude.
Yeah, we had
about it.
Yeah, I would be a bitter asshole if I had to go through that. Oh, we got more action. Ooh. There's your mallards, Jeff. Do you think he's running spinners? I bet he's not.
He's the first person that ever had a spinner.
Oh, really?
That I knew, yes. He showed up at the parking lot of the lodge. He goes, "Come here, look at this." And I walked out in his truck, and he had one. I'm like, okay. It's like some kind of fucked up decoy with white things sticking outside of it. He goes, "Man, it works great." Hey, Dave, are you running any spinners right now?
No, I'm not. I needed to get hold of Lucky Duck and get some of their new lithiums. You can't find them anywhere.
Really?
Maybe that's why on our last order we didn't get any.
Right. Well, they said they were waiting on product.
Hey, Dave, do you remember? We go back. Me and you go back a long way, a long time. You were the first person that ever had a spinner. When you showed it to me, you told me you hunted with some guys up north that had been to Arkansas or somewhere, and they had one, and you showed it to me, and I thought, you've lost your fucking mind. There's no way that thing's going to work. And you said, "Oh, it's like magic." And you're the first person that ever brung a spinner to the lodge.
Might have been the first person in Minnesota to ever use one. One of the guys, you remember John Clark?
Yes.
He knew a guy in California that had one, and it was a box and a blade that spun. It didn't even have a duck thing, and you laid it on the ground, and it worked. They'd see that flashing on the ground, and then about a year or two after that, they come up with the one that had the wings in the body in it, and God, I suppose we had them for 2 or 3 years before anybody was even using them.
Well,
the farmers would just laugh at us. They'd go, "You're them two crazy guys out there shooting the mallards." We'd have 10,000 mallards come up on us, and that's a goose.
There's a new tool out right now too. A guy sent me a picture of it yesterday, and it's the same thing that I talked about with. I told Ron Winnicky one time, if anybody ever come up with something that would spin like a flashcard, you've heard me talk about it. Mm-hmm. Somebody's got one out now.
I think he's finishing this goose.
Well,
see?
Are you sleeping?
That guy left a minute ago. I saw him walk by.
Oh, he got him.
Told you he was finishing him.
He got him.
I told you, I can tell.
So,
called it.
Anyways, there's a new tool out. I saw a guy send me a picture of it yesterday. It's like just a spinning wing, but it's on the ground, and it sets real low. And they said I can't keep the ducks off of them.
Flick a
No. This is just it looks like it's about 6 inches long, and it's just white. And it just spins on the ground like a pinwheel would, but it's real low to the ground. And they said the ducks are just tearing them up. I'm trying to think somebody sent me a video of them. They hunted over them.
How would that be any different than like a regular wind-powered driven wing that you just put close to the ground?
I don't know, but it's the same. It's that concept to it. But he said that the ducks are just tearing it up right now. They just can't keep the ducks off of them. And I'm trying to think of who it was.
You sure it ain't a flip?
No. I've seen those. No, this is different. But it's the same. It's the same general concept, but it's a little different looking. And I can't remember if someone just made it themselves. But he said, "Man, the ducks just will not get off of it."
Here he goes again.
There's another one.
See, this is for all them guys that think the hunt's over with at 8:30 in the morning. It's 10:30.
That's me, Jeff. That's me in a nutshell.
And the goose god is out there still getting after him.
And that's why he's a goose god, and I'm not. I'm ready to go at 10:30. Maybe this will be a thing. Maybe this will be a new segment we have. The Big Honker Podcast joins you in the goose blind.
That'd be pretty cool.
And we call it like a football game. I'm like Peyton Manning. I could tell what he was about to do.
Listen,
I didn't even have to see it.
I don't want people getting into my emails.
I could just tell.
Did you see what the Redskins did on that? Or not the Redskins? Did you see what the NFL said now?
Buccaneers removed him from the Ring of Honor.
Well, which was chicken shit too, I thought. NFL says they're not going to disclose any more emails if nobody else is.
It probably implicated the owner.
They got the person they wanted.
Well,
Roger Goodell did not like John Gruden, and that's what it's all about.
Well, and they said 65,000 emails and nothing implicated.
Here we go.
Here we go. He shot twice. He missed. He's about to shoot
third
time. Told you.
Yeah. Did you miss?
He fucking missed. Bigger than shit.
Oh,
what?
He's dead.
What? Canada?
Yeah.
It took 3 shots though, Dave.
Big shot. I'm shooting a 20 gauge spy.
Oh, okay.
You shooting boss?
You shooting boss?
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Those little things, they'll sting them.
I'm out of.
Oh shit. I'm trying to operate this that way our listeners don't get their ears blown out.
Oh my God! I think they're going to come back around.
What are they?
Geese?
Bubbleheads. Yeah, they're fucking
Jesus
stupid.
Christ.
Burn that ass, Dave. Burn that ass.
Dave, you're not going to eat them things, are you?
They're not that bad.
See?
The Rory White.
That's what everybody's told us, and Jeff doesn't believe them.
It's a duck.
I have ate them. They're not bad.
Somebody said they're like a little butterball.
That's what they called them back in the days of market hunting. That's what they called them, butterballs.
So see there, Jeff, you don't even know.
People were awful damn hungry.
That's what you ought to feed him if he comes up there, Dave. Just get a couple buffalo heads in the freezer and just Just tell him that you're cooking for him, and he'll never know the difference.
Merganser.
Yeah, we're having merganser tonight.
I couldn't tell the difference between a merganser and a bufflehead, I promise you. So it's a nasty duck or goose.
I had duck at the resort, and it was not like any duck I've ever had. And I think you said that also.
Yes, in Mexico, I had something that was out of this world. So how long does your season last till?
Right before probably Thanksgiving, the duck season, and then our goose season. Oh my God! If this comes in, there's about 1,000 ducks in front of me, just swarming about 200 yards out.
Are they?
And they look like redheads, cans, mallards, maybe.
So
a lot of dive.
So y'all are getting a big migration push today.
We've seen some of it yesterday. A lot of these birds have been here for a little while. They sit on the lake. They haven't had to even go out to the fields to feed. There's so much aquatic. The water's been low, so all of our vegetation's really high. So they have plenty of food on the water, and they don't even need to go out into the fields to eat. Like the mallards and the pintails and stuff.
Right. Hey, is an east wind, is that pretty common where you are?
No, southeast, east wind, but yeah, it's east wind, pretty hard east wind right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
Usually winds, it's stormy, and they go slow.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell the wind's whipping. I didn't know if because an east wind here, it's pretty. It's not very common. Usually, like you said, if we get an east wind here, it's because it's storming.
Yeah.
So what were those? Did those birds? Did they just hop up out of somewhere, or are they coming in?
They're sitting in the middle of the lake.
Oh.
Where they know they're safe.
Right.
And then they kind of roost there, but there's a couple thousand ducks there.
How many decoys do you have out right now?
Oh, probably a couple hundred at least.
Here he goes again.
He missed.
You've got a couple hundred floaters out right now?
Yeah, at least.
Whoo. Jeff, are you up for that kind of work?
Dave, when I come up there, we want to do field hunting. I
only put on 200-300 then.
I can help you that. I don't even own any waders.
No waders. I'm not wearing waders. I got rubber boots on, but.
So is this place you're hunting?
I usually do this in a boat anyway.
Is this place you're hunting? Is it something that you control the water level, or is it Mother Nature driven?
Kind of a little bit of both. There is a pump and an access, and it's been designated as a waterfowl lake, so they try to keep it down so they can keep, the vegetation down, keep fish out. They're not doing a real good job about maintaining it real well, but this low year definitely helped.
So clarify that for me. How does that work? So the state has designated it a waterfowl area, and the state kind of manages, but y'all, it's not public though, is it?
No, because it's private all the way around, but all water is public. In Minnesota. You have access to the water. You can, as long as you're in a boat and you're not on the guy's shoreline, you can hunt it.
But there's no way somebody else could get out there in a boat because you've got the land around it.
Yeah. Well, there's probably 5 or 6 owners on this whole lake. It's a pretty big lake.
Right.
It's probably 5-6 miles long and 2 miles wide.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My point's probably almost a mile long, and it's only 10 yards wide. It goes all the way across the middle of the lake.
Jeff's trying to find you on a map right now.
What was the name of the lake?
Upper Lightning. South of
Upper Lightning. Don't be giving away secrets.
Well, I'm
Jeff.
not looking to see. I'm just trying to figure out where it.
Oh no, it's actually kind of cool to look at a map. because once you find Upper Lightning, you zoom in on the middle of it on Google Maps, and you can see a line going all the way out.
Really?
In the middle of the lake.
And you said it's 10 miles south of Fergus?
Southwest.
Oh, I see it right now. Upper Lightning Lake.
You're looking at it?
Uh-huh.
Go right to the middle of it. From the east side, you'll see a line going out.
Well, he's on. You're not looking at it on satellite.
Now I'm putting it on satellite. I see a camp.
Oh, like
I see a real little small.
like a canal.
I bet. Where's the line at? Up in the middle of it?
It's about in the middle of the It's about in the middle of the lake. And it comes off the east side and goes to the west.
The lake's way. The video. Anyway, there's a lot of water there around that area.
Yeah.
So what do the birds? I mean, do they just? Is that pretty centralized where the birds go almost every day, or do they bounce around on different lakes?
They bounce around on different lakes. I got a lake north of here that's probably got 2,000 birds on it. That's only 100 acres. Mm-hmm. We should have probably hunted there this morning, but I kind of like shooting cans and redheads, so that's mainly mallards and a lot of puddle ducks down there.
What?
There's some divers, but this is so much nicer when it's windy and it's, I got steel pits up and stuff like that. Don't have to wear waders.
Why would you?
If it rains, comfy.
Why would you rather shoot cans over mallards?
They're faster.
Oh. You're in it for the sport.
We only get cans so many times of the years. I get to shoot mallards whenever I really want.
Now, has it always been that way? Mallards? I mean, do you remember shooting just a ton of mallards when you were a kid growing up? Or is that something that's fairly new?
Since the 90s, yeah, we seem like we always shot a fair amount. There seems to be more of an abundance of mallards than most ducks, Teal, there's a lot too, but they leave here fairly early.
Right.
This year, I think I'll see a lot of mallards because Dakota's is fairly dry. Some of them birds will come over here because this is where the water
right.
is.
Have you noticed any of that to this date yet? Have you noticed more birds than you normally see right now?
Yeah, I've noticed Dakota birds, pintails, mallards, and stuff weren't here late summer. That got here like in September, and by bigger numbers than we normally have here. So we either had a really good hatch or I'm getting birds from North Dakota.
Right. Hey, why is your area the rivet band place to go? You shoot more freaking rivet bands.
Now I know why you want to go up there with me.
Well, Jeff. I don't hear of any other part of the country that shoots rivet bands the way that Fergus Falls does.
Well, maybe we shoot a lot of them, I suppose, because there's a lot of people hunting here too.
Right.
But no, yeah, you're right. We do probably shoot more than anywhere else. They must just be the next stop from the Winnipeg birds. All them birds that are banded like that, they are all coming from Winnipeg in Churchill up there. So they just work their way down here, and this is one of their stops, I guess. And I hear of it going on down in Iowa, too. After they leave here, they shoot some of them in Iowa.
Right.
So that's a good time for us to shoot some bands is going to be that day after the election.
Well, the day after the election is the day I can't.
Well, no, we're traveling that day.
Yeah, that's the day I got that big group. Is they go up and they do their election thing, and then the next day I hunt them all, and then they leave by the middle of the day the next day. So, and that's about the time I really start field hunting hard too.
So there you go, Jeff.
November 4th, 5th, and 6th.
What's the purpose of the rivet band? Like what's wrong with just the regular band?
I don't know. You get 2 of them.
Yeah, but I don't know why they put it on there.
And the new ones, I guess. I mean, I've shot. They've been doing it for a few years. The new ones have a stainless steel band and a rivet band.
You know, I did not know that stainless was tough to come by. All of our guides, they claim they want a stainless, and I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought I didn't know because I've got a couple.
I got a bunch of them from Speckle Valley.
Yes, yeah. But
I have a Canada one right there.
Really, that one came off of a rivet band.
That was with a rivet band, yeah.
I did not know that the stainless was a coveted item. Do you shoot any Jack Miners there?
No, I have not shot a Jack Miner here. I've heard of one besides the joke we played on a guy.
What was that?
Oh, we had you can go up to Jack Miner and they'll give you a plate that says Jack Miner and it's actually the band, but it ain't rolled. Right. Well, we rolled it and put it on a goose leg. This was long, 20 some years ago. And the one guy was just a band. I mean, everything for a band. And so we had one of the younger kids. I says, put this in your pocket. Oh, God, nice shot. Guy dropped it at about 60 yards there.
Awesome.
He had this Jack. We put it on this band or this leg, and I said, just put it in your pocket for now and get it out later. And say, God, Dave told me to throw this in my pocket, and he gets it out and he sees it, and we're all pretending we're sleeping in the lodge, and all of a sudden we hear, it's a Jack Miner, it's a Jack Miner, and he grabs the leg and he goes storming out the door, and he starts calling people, and we didn't even have a chance to even start laughing, and runs out. Oh, come on, roll this way, baby.
Dave Reese is now setting up the putt. Oh, we got
he shot.
Oh, 3 times.
He missed. Think about how fast
I
it
am
was.
so glad he only shot
3, boy. 3.
You shot 3?
Yeah.
Oh, he pulled a triple, Jeff.
What'd you shoot?
We thought you missed.
Blue wing teal.
3 of them. That's fucking impressive. Have you ever pulled a triple on a teal?
Well, many times, Andy.
You have not, because you only shoot an over and under.
I've shot a triple back in the day. I shot 13 straight green wing teal one morning. Back when I was I was young.
Back when you
Me,
were
Tony,
young.
and Dad were shooting together, and I shot 13 green wing teal and 13 shots.
I'm so glad you only shot 3 times because you're on television. He's about to shoot again.
I don't shoot more than 3 times, unless I shoot again here really soon. But you've seen me reload.
I did see you reload, so we're still good here. Did you ever know anybody that? I think he's about to shoot again. No.
Do I ever know anybody?
Did you ever know anybody that would file? Because for a while there, couldn't you file something down in like the Super Black Eagle to where you could float a forced shell?
Well, the old ones.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably still can. It was it's just a groove. All they did was put a groove in the bolt so you can't do it anymore. Right. But if you filled that groove in on the bottom of your bolt, it would shoot 4.
Because I remember that was the big thing back in whenever they came out, 2000s or whatever. Everybody was floating that 4 shell.
Yeah.
Got some.
Well, if you can't hit nothing with the first 2, you're probably not going to hit nothing with the second.
Yeah, that's probably true too. I need to subscribe to that way of thinking more because I waste a lot of shotgun shells. But in my defense about my shooting, and you know how it is here, everything's backup. I mean, yeah. I don't ever take the cherry shot. Like if I shoot, it's something that might be crippled or that I think's going to get away.
Not like Ron.
No.
No. He was a shooting jack.
He didn't give a shit what it was.
He could be spinning and be the first one to shoot every time.
Boy, it used to wear me out too. God almighty. He could go from dead sleep to shooting.
Oh, I know. Or flagging.
He would flag while he was asleep.
Yeah, I think did. I really did.
It was impressive to see. And he didn't have like a regular flag. He had one that it was like a flag you would see on a pole. And he would just work that wrist back and forth. Figure eights is what he would tell me. Just figure eights. All day long. I'd finally have to be like, and I always felt bad because, you know, I'm 13, 14 years old. Listen, he's driving me to the field so that I can guide. I'm not going to tell him to put his flag up.
We just took it from him all the time.
Just hide it from him.
We just shoved it behind his seat. He'd never find it.
Shit.
I kind of imagine when you were going through Randy's stuff, that would be like Ron just passing away, not telling, well, he didn't tell you where anything was anyway. And like Jeff and Tony just rummaging through that house or his truck, trying to make heads or tails out of what they have.
Yeah. In a hazmat suit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, after he passed away, the couple that got his house, Tony and I we put a bid in on a house, and anyway, they were in the neighborhood, and they came in, and they said, hey, we would like for you to put a bid in to fix our house up. And we're like, well, where do you live? And they started giving us directions, and we were like, is it a tan brick house? They said, yeah. We said, is there dog kennels in the back and a pond? Oh, yeah, you know where it is? I said, yeah, and I know the guy that lived there. We're not touching it. I said he was a pack rat. But, you know, like all legends, he's like a dog. He's getting better. His stories are getting better, and we're forgetting about all the stuff he screwed up.
You didn't see him.
Dave's going to shoot again.
Come on. A little farther.
This is how the goat calls. He doesn't even pick up his lanyard to shoot.
They shot at the other place, too.
Dave's going to finish it. Did you get him?
He missed.
Oh, no. I got one bullet left. He's going to come back.
Must be a bufflehead or a ringneck.
Oh, it's a bluebill.
Yep.
Yeah, he missed him, though.
Duck's been shot at by 4 different blinds. Just flying in circles.
Yes, he pretty much... Oh, there's another one.
You know, somebody needs to do live webcams from blinds. I'd watch this every morning.
You would?
Fuck yeah, I'd enjoy this.
Can you see me,
Yeah,
Jeff?
I can see you. I can't see you missing.
Oh.
I think he's...
Well, I don't have for a man.
You need to... you're going to have to, like, provide video proof of the birds on... who's getting the birds? They're just laying there?
No, they're floating over to the other shoreline on the other side. It's only like 100 yards.
You'll just pick them up at the end of the day?
Yep. Save my boat.
Well, that makes sense.
It's kind of windy out, so if I only got to go out once,
right,
I'll be happy.
Hey, show your spread to everybody. Pick your camera up and show everybody your spread, the layout. They'd like to see that. Everybody's on YouTube with us.
You can only see part of it.
Well, that's okay. They'd like to see what gives them the whole story.
Don't show them the good part.
All right, I'll see if I can
flip it. Yeah, there we go.
Can you see it there?
Yeah, we can see the decoys out in front of you. Yeah. And then, and there's a little peninsula. That's what you were supposed to be looking for, Jeff.
That's pretty cool looking.
It's a very picturesque place.
Are the leaves changing colors yet?
Oh yeah, we've lost actually the ones behind me were orange and red last week before the rain, and now they're just a few green and yellows, and most of the leaves are off of the trees.
So how do you see behind you? Because you got decoys on the other side, or you just let them buzz around?
I got decoys all around me.
But you're not looking behind you.
Well, the wind's behind me.
Well, they still might.
You know me. I got eyes in the back of my head. I can sense my guy.
That's true too. I understand. I'm just.
We do amazing things without even people knowing.
Every day. What gun are you shooting?
A Benelli, little 20 gauge.
Fun.
Actually, I'm shooting my wife's gun right now.
Is your hearing okay? You're not even wearing hearing protection. You've been doing this forever. Yeah, exactly.
He's been deaf since I've known him.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing to save.
I really have been. I don't hear high frequency really well, but um, anything lower than that, I worked as a machinist for a lot of years, so I heard a lot of high pitch buzzing and chopping that probably wasn't good for my hearing either.
Yeah. But what's amazing is you can hear a fucking turkey gobble at 200 yards, 300 yards through the woods.
For sure, or a goose 3 miles away.
Yeah. I don't like taking my wife turkey hunting because I also have a hard time hearing. And then there'll just be the faintest gobble, and I'll be like, oh, there's one over there. And she's like, how the fuck do you tell me you hear that, but you can't hear when me or your children are calling you?
It's called zoning them out.
Well, lady, I don't know. It's a miracle.
Hearing.
It's a miracle.
God blessed us, so that's why he did that, so we'd stay married, so we just wouldn't hear him all the time.
Probably
That's
true.
exactly what it is. But then as they get older, they learn into that old system of, well, I go, when'd you buy that? Well, you told me I could. When? Well, you were watching the football game. You don't remember?
They know when to ask.
Hell no, I don't remember, and I really don't even think she ever asked. They just do it anyways. All right, Dave, we're going to let you.
Better beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
That's right. We're gonna let you get back to your hunting. Y'all got a website now for the flagging?
Yeah, flagman.net.com.
.net.com?
Flagman.net.com.
Or Flagman, let me check.
That's what
here.
I was fixing. I was going to look it up myself because I have a feeling you messed that up.
It is flagmanproducts.net.
Well, you were way off on that deal.
My email, I didn't even know I had an email on it, but I guess I do. Dave Reese at flagmanproducts.net.
And they've all the flags now come with a rubber tip to
Yep, all the new style stuff is going to be with the rubber tip and going to be I got a new product. We're calling it the Pole Lander.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pole kite and a lander all in one.
You had that when you were here, didn't you?
I kind of set stuff up sometimes like that, but now it's got a clip that'll hold it on the pole, and then if it's too windy to run that pole kite, you can pull it back down and make a lander out of it.
Right, because I remember you had the one, and I think it was just a decoy pole, and you had one there, and then you had another flag kind of in the middle somewhere on that.
Oh God, I've had so much stuff over the years I can't even think of the different ones I've used. I used to use Double Trouble.
Yeah, Double Trouble.
Kite.
That's the one I'm thinking about.
Oh yeah. I'll make them kind of on a special order type of deal because they just you're looking at like a 20-foot rod and 2 flags.
Is that kind of what you were describing with the one that you were just talking about?
No, that pole lander is just it's basically his lander that is a short pole, but it's the full goose with the white crescent on the back. You can unhook it, and that pole will extend 9 feet out.
Gotcha.
So you can get up above and use it like a bird landing up above. But it gives you a couple different options. We went with he used to make them all black. We started going with the white. I did white on one side and black on the other, so they could flip it over. A lot of the guys up in Canada are all buying the black and white ones that are so they'll go hunt snow geese in the morning and use the same flag, flip it over black side for the Canadas and the ducks at night.
Right.
They go, and I haven't had any problems. They all love them, they said. So I'm getting kind of a good deal from that.
I got to tell you, before for a flag, I want it black or white. I want a big contrast because that's really all that you're doing anyway with the flag. You're trying to create attention. So,
well, like for you guys, especially if it's dark out or if you're in a dark field, that darker flag's harder to see. And in the last 10, 15 years, you guys have a lot of snow geese.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So that white flag stands out big time.
Yeah.
you have that option that you can flip it over whenever you want, or like what I've been telling the guys that like most of the time the really good big Canada hunting's in the snow up here. So you can lay that snow flag down on the snow and it completely disappears.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, when there's snow on the ground, are you mainly doing it out of pits? It's all out of pits with heater buddies?
Heaters and comfy
Kids
hunting.
have it too easy now. You probably froze your ass off when you were a kid.
No, I've just wrecked a lot of people by pit hunting.
Yeah.
Most people that used to field hunt, after they pit hunted once or twice, they usually sell their ground blind.
Fuck yeah, I can imagine so. It's 30 below. I don't want to sit in a ground blind either, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, Dave.
And it's better to stand and shoot than sit and shoot, you know.
No, that's exactly right. Well, listen, we're going to let you go. We appreciate you sharing the blind with us this morning. It's been a lot of fun. Even though we're not there in person, it's been fun to be there shooting the shit with you, just like old times. And maybe we can get together after the election.
Sounds good.
Take care, bud. We'll see you maybe in about a month or in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll talk
to you later.
Bye.
I'll get to you, Andy.
Uh-huh.
I'll get a couple flags to
Okay.
you.
Appreciate it, bud. Bye.
We'll talk to you later.
Dave Reese.
The great Dave Reese. Let me tell you, I was sweating it because all we have done for 3 years, 3.5 years now. How long have we been doing this podcast? Is it 3 years?
Over 3 years now.
So it's 3.5 years. All we have done is pumped up this man's legacy about how good of a killer he is. I was really worried that we were going to get skunked.
Best goose guy to ever worked for me, by far.
But.
And I've had a lot of really good ones. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. So whoever's in second place, I'm never going to tell you who's second. So if you're out there and you work for me and you think, well, fuck, I was right there. Well, you're second.
I figure I would be second.
Well, you might be. I don't know. I'll never say who's second, but Dave Reese is number one.
I just figured I was second.
Are we going to go by birds per average or anything? Because number 2 might be in the parking lot out there right now.
Tony?
Tony killed a lot of birds too. He was a good hunter.
No, you gotta be active.
Oh, so it's only active hunters?
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
Tony's retired. Like, listen. You go into the Hall of Fame in the NFL after 5 years of not putting on cleats.
Yeah.
Has Tony put on the old camouflage in the last couple of years?
No, but if he did, I'd have faith in him killing some birds. He's a good hunter. There's a lot. That's what I'm saying. Number 2 is it could be a lot of people. There's a lot of good guys. He's number 1. He's the best hunter I ever had. I'm telling you, when things were tough and it got stale birds or whatever it is, he was still bringing a limit of birds in almost every day.
And his attitude never really changed either.
No,
not that I remember as a kid.
I don't remember Dave ever being in a bad mood, or just he took it day at a time. Just whatever happened.
Like everything, it was Dave every evening.
Yeah, and you know what? Most of the guys that work here now, of the full-time guys, or the guys that have been doing it for a while, it's the same way.
Yeah.
You take it for one step at a time. So.
I'm the bitchy one.
You are. There's no doubt about that. All right, I'm going to introduce our new sponsor, too. Steak Plains Meats. Folks, we are in the middle of a time where getting meat's going to be hard to come by, maybe. You might go to the grocery store. Steaks yesterday are $15 a pound or something.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Steak Plains Meats has passed state inspections with fine colors and can help provide that alternative. Bring them your fed-out beef, and they will provide custom processing to fit your needs. Don't have your own beef, they can help you out there, too. Also taking deer, and it's Steak Plains Meats. I'm telling you, folks, this is where you need to go. And my damn phone was cutting out on me about the time I get to my place I need. And it's Steak Plains Meats, and they are in Crosbyton, Texas, 806-675-0044, or staked, STAKED, Plains Meats at gmail.com. We haven't been buying store meat much. We basically do get a full beef. If you can afford it,
and you got the freezer space,
buy you a full beef right now. Joe Biden, and I'm going to make this political for a minute. Joe Biden, everything he's told us about what's going to happen has happened just about. And he keeps talking about this dark, long winter we're fixing to have. I think that means we're going to be having trouble with grocery stores. They're already saying Christmas, there's not going to be a lot of stuff on the shelves at Christmas time.
Which might be good, because if the airlines continue to stay fucked up, which God bless you, Jeff, you're flying tomorrow, we might not be getting together for Christmas anyway.
Well, we will. We all live in the same town.
Well, we
don't
will,
have
but
to
there's
take
going to be a lot of
6
people
weeks. That's right. There's going to be a lot of problems. But storing up for food. Mom bought her turkeys for Christmas and Thanksgiving. She's already bought them.
I saw that.
Because they're saying there's going to be a shortage of turkeys.
Well, Jessie, she tried to get chicken the other night, and no chicken in this store, or her parents were an hour away in a bigger town. That's single
crazy.
Piece of chicken.
So
fucking beef is probably going to be next.
I'll get your whole beef. Buy it while you can. I'm not going to lie. Us people that live in the small Midwest, all over, small towns, you get outside the big cities, don't give a shit if you're from Maine to California. If you get away from the big cities, those people are going to be okay because we can either hunt for something or we have neighbors that have cattle or we have cattle, goats, chickens, everything. Those people in big cities don't have that. But if you live in a big city, call the guys in Crosbyton, stock up on your fill your freezers up. You know, it's if you can afford it. People that can't afford it. This is the people I feel sorry for that can't afford to buy 6 months worth of beef at a time. Yeah. But if you can afford to, because there's no telling how much hamburger meat's going to cost a pound if there's zero of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the people that have it, they're not going to give it to you because they're going to be worried about not being able to replace it.
Yeah.
So prepare yourselves and prepare your families. All right. Thank y'all very much. God bless y'all and have a great day.
Go check out all of our great sponsors. Check them out for your meat, just like Jeff said. It might be a tough time. Check out Eyesight Drones, Bangtail Whiskey, Goose Creek Retrievers, Gundog Outdoors, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Lucky Duck, Dirty Duck Coffee, Boss Shot Shells, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, and Shin Gear Waders.